After a weekend of television drama at its finest, we welcome you back in to the fastest hour in hockey. It's the Real Kipper and Bourne Show, Season 5. Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo, Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Wherever you're watching, listening, live on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, Sportsnet Plus. And always, if you can't catch us live, we post on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube right after the show. So,
wow, great job, bud.
Did you wake up this morning and go, okay, jersey or hat on the Real Kipper and Bourne Show?
No,
jersey or
It was
hat?
jersey all day today.
All day?
All day.
But you didn't go with a hat?
No, I didn't go hat. Sometimes I go hat, sometimes I don't go
All
hat.
right.
You know, I just
Fair enough.
I'm not going to go jersey and hat on the show.
Fair
I think
enough.
That's a little
Not
much.
on the
maybe.
team.
I
You're
did
like a
go
baseball
jersey.
manager
I
in
did
the
go
pants.
jersey today. Yeah, I don't know what about you guys, but the couch took an absolute beating this weekend. It was
By many.
It was
by millions.
It was gross the amount of time I spent on
Is
the
it
couch.
sad how much our lives revolve around sports? Like,
That thought does cross my mind from time
you
to
know,
time.
like July and August were bleak, and all of a sudden yesterday I was like fulfilled as a person again.
And we did manage to get in an exhibition game on Sportsnet.
Yeah, we even covered it.
We covered it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Missed that one.
It's not too bad.
That one went right over your head.
Here's what I'll say. I was flicking back and forth with Penn State and Oregon in the hockey game, but I didn't catch much of you guys. So
Yeah, that's fine.
The Toronto Blue Jays
Yes.
punched their way into a division win.
to the ALDS.
They did not
starting
backdoor this thing.
Win, baby.
Just win. You know, Schneider, the manager, said it a few days ago that we are in control. Doesn't matter. And I think he just nailed it. He just nailed the weekend.
I mean, for the New York Yankees to win 11 of their last 12 games, including 8 in a row to finish, and have it not matter is one of the most incredible statistics that you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
Like, what team does that towards the end of a season? And they just have to stuff it in a locker and head to New York to play in a wild card series against the Boston Red Sox.
There's nothing more satisfying than hearing Buck Martinez's comments about the Yankees just not being a very good team. You know? Like, it's very satisfying to
I'm
just win your way through.
I'm over the moon about the Blue Jays. It was an incredible season. I watched 150 games in their entirety. I watch every game. I love the Jays. Listen, you guys said, I'm fulfilled. I'm like, I've been fulfilled all summer, brother.
You know, the one thing that is clear, and you don't have to be like an expert in baseball, is just to watch this team long enough to understand and feel how much they care about each other.
For sure.
And
What a cool team.
Connected team.
how likable they are.
They're almost like the European golf team.
Likability
I was just going to say that.
factor is off the charts with this team. Like, you look down the
It's
roster.
the new guys. Lucas and
Yeah.
Barger and, you know.
Yeah, they're bringing it
They're
all
the
together.
glue.
Yeah.
But I want to be careful here.
Uh-oh.
But I'm watching baseball and I'm watching my sport that I've been around my whole life for. And I'm watching this Blue Jay team in particular act more like hockey players did in the past than today. Like,
Camaraderie-wise? Or?
yeah, and just everything's about the team. Nothing is about the clothes I wear to the game, the Instagramming, the branding,
The YouTube channels.
You know, granted, okay, I mean, Springer and Junior, they've got their peanut butter commercial.
JMPB.
Yeah, which,
JMPB.
I'm not going to critique that commercial either.
That
But
money.
it's minimal. It's not like, I don't know. I mean, it's just about the team. It's just about winning. Even when they do their interviews, like, they're just so likable.
Yeah, I mean, most comebacks in Major League Baseball this year, contributors up and down the lineup, great pitching.
And it has to be said, a legitimate chance to reach the World Series. Because the two teams that are coming in, they've won the season series against both the Red Sox and the Yankees. Own the Yankees this year. Good matchup. I mean, Seattle will be a tough piece of business if they have to face them in the CS. But, like, there is a real path. So it's pretty exciting times. And
Turkey's my boy.
opening night for the Toronto Maple Leafs across from Game 4 of the ALDS. I'd definitely be watching every moment and doing an in-depth Leafs talk after
that
Leafs
right?
game.
That's what it
Yes,
would be?
sir. Yes, sir. October 8th.
They're the Jays. Wouldn't they give them like an 11 a.m. start?
Yeah, no, that's but they're maybe playing the Yankees, so then they'll get the prime time.
In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Elliot Friedman, Hockey Night in Canada, 32 Thoughts, celebrated his 65th birthday on the weekend.
Right.
What the hell?
All right.
Oh,
What the hell are you talking
how
about?
old is Elliot?
You just missed by a decade.
How old is he?
He's 55.
Oh, is he 55? That's it?
Oh,
come
my
on now.
God.
Okay.
I'll never ask him to come on again. You're embarrassing.
No. Great job. Did you bring in the cupcake Saturday night?
I did not. Well, I think was it Matt Marstrom? Hillary brought him in. Lovely. A little red velvet, vanilla icing.
Plenty
love
to
Red
get
Velvet.
into with the insider, Elliot Friedman, including a signing by the Toronto Maple Leafs, one that probably felt a little bit more urgent with the news that Joseph Wall is
Just what?
gone,
Okay.
left the hockey club with no feel, and we'll get into this with Elliot on a possible return.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great contract. And I understand the concerns about age and longevity. You know, he hasn't played all these games, whatever, but he was paid as a result of those things, right? If he played, he led the NHL in save percentage last year. If he played 60 games, he'd be worth $10 million.
Yeah.
You know, so you're saving a lot of money in the fact that you're only going to get him half the time, and he gets a little security in terms of years. They get a good deal.
I mean, you see the number, right? And I got to be honest, I'm trying hard to come up with like a zag on why this potentially could have, like, be bad at all. And I just can't come up with anything.
Like if his knees are shredded cheese, it's just on LTIR.
It's 4 years. It's 3.75. It's a totally palatable number for a guy who's going to play half the game. I don't know. I thought it was awesome. But Elliot's there.
Good. Dude.
Okay, let's welcome him in. Hockey Night in Canada's very own Elliot Friedman. Elliot, thanks for joining us, man. How are you? You recovered off your wild weekend of celebrating a birthday?
Yeah, I got news for you, Nick. Those weekends aren't that wild anymore. Those days are long over. Long over. I'm too old for that now.
We just moments ago talked about the Stolarz contract. Let's start there with you, Elliot. Just in terms of where it ended up, I would imagine the ask was a little higher over the stretch of the negotiations from the Stolarz camp. They settle in on an AAV, which probably surprised a few people, being under $4 million. But I imagine that was the carrot for the Leafs to dangle the fourth year on.
Yeah, Nick, I think it's pretty clear here now, just talking to as many people as I could, that the key number for Stolarz in his rep was Atlanta Wall was $15 million. Like, let's try to get to 15 and let's see how we divvy it up. And I think the Leafs had a lot of say in how they got to that number and how it was all going to work. And I obviously, like, the reaction, when I saw the reaction to the deal, you know, the Leaf fans were ecstatic. And I'm sure the Maple Leafs felt similar in the sense that if you look at a lot of deals they've done with Tanev, with Tavares, they've stretched out the dollars over term to, you know, limit some of the damage to them potentially. Like for Toronto, especially with the cap going up, it's only money, right? So they don't have the same, they're not encumbered the same way they used to be. They've got a lot more flexibility. And, you know, I heard you guys talking, and with whatever injury concerns you may have with Stolarz, if it gets bad for whatever reason, this contract isn't going to hurt them. Like, this is not going to be a deal where they're going to be looking to trade and say, what are we going to have to give up to move this deal? I don't think it's going to hurt them that much at all. And obviously you can see why Stolarz would be happy with it. It's the longest contract he's had since his ELC. Of course he's going to love that kind of security.
Yeah, fans in Toronto love getting a deal on a guy. It puts him in a good position to earn their favor on top of his great year last season. So I'm looking at the cap page. Here I'm on cap wages right now. Next year, him and Joseph Woll will earn a combined $7.4 million, which I believe is about 19th in total cap hit in the NHL right now. This year, it's $6.1 million combined. Going into this year, it's like, God, they have a cheap, wonderful goalie tandem. We think. What do we think? What do we know, or what are you hearing about the potential for them having both goalies fairly soon?
Justin, the only thing we know is that we don't know, and to be honest, I'm not sure the Maple Leafs know yet either. I think they were, this is something that came up pretty quickly, I think, and I think everybody's still trying to grasp the timeline without being intrusive in terms of they asked for privacy and the player requested privacy, and I think people are trying to respect that. And the only thing I can tell you I'm asking is there any indication for when he's going to be able to return? And as we were preparing for our exhibition broadcast on Saturday night, the responses I was getting were simply, they don't know. And so I just think, I think they're hoping for maybe a timeline at the start of the season, just so that they have an understanding of what they're dealing with. But as of the weekend, Justin, the answer was they don't know. And I think too, the interesting thing is going to be, like I saw today, they left Reimer with the Marley group kind of to get some work, and you expect he's going to play one of these 2 games against Detroit this week. The question to me is, do they sign him, or, there's going to be some interesting goalies going on waivers, and the Leafs don't have a high waiver priority here, but depending on what some of these teams do, there's Nico Daws in New Jersey, there's Clay Stevenson in Washington, there's Michael DiPietro with the Boston Bruins. Unless some of these teams are going to keep 3 goalies, or they're going to do a surprise or make a move, there's 3 goalies this week at least going on waivers, Justin, that I think some teams are really going to be looking hard at. And Boston signed DiPietro to a 2-year deal to try to prevent against this. But Stevenson and Dawes, I think, too, are going to be guys teams are going to be taking a long look at. And I think these 3 teams involved are trying to figure out here, if they're going to do waivers, what's the easiest way to do it, or the best chance to sneak someone by.
But none of them have the experience of James Reimer. And we've seen in the past, Elliot, that whether it was Matt Murray or Martin Jones, that's been an important thing for the Leafs. So how realistic is it that they're going to sign Reimer, who had the most fun like in a long, long time at one practice with the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Well, Nick, I mean, like, how do you, like, if you're not grabbing one of these other guys, you're not going out and getting somebody else, how do you feel about, like, you were the one who laid it out, there's 3 back-to-backs in the first month, right? How comfortable are you going to be starting with Stolars and, say, Hildeby? I don't think they're going to be comfortable with that at all. So I would expect Reimer gets signed, or they go out and they go after some other goalie, like one of these guys on waivers. And
do you have any sense which of those names you mentioned there might be a preference for, or just not sure?
I don't. Stevenson, the Rangers went really hard at him when he came out of college, and they lost him to the Capitals. So I know they were a team that really, really liked him. Mm-hmm. So Stevenson, to me, is the one that, when I mentioned his name, he's got 1 more year at $775, and then he's a UFA. But he's absolutely roadblocked in Washington. Like, they've got Thompson and Lindgren. It's a great combination. I know Stevenson is a guy that intrigues a few teams, but I can't say for sure on Toronto.
All right, moving on from goalies. You good on goalies?
Yeah, we're good. You want to go to McTavish?
Sure, yeah. 6 years, is it? $42 million. Do you get a sense for, was there a concession on either side to get that done? What movement had to happen to reach that pretty reasonable deal for both sides?
I think once the Ducks got to 7, it was going to happen. That's my sense, Justin, that Anaheim just had to get there. Nick, Pat Verbeek as well as anybody in the league would, or anybody in our business would. And I think at the end of the day, this is a huge year for the Ducks. And, Verbeek and his lieutenant, Jeff Sullivan, they're very fierce negotiators. But I think they realized, you look at it today, he's on their second line center. I think he's got Gauthier and Granlund on his wing. This is a big year for the Ducks. Big year. I think everybody realized it didn't make a lot of sense to keep McTavish out to the start of the season. And hey, $42 million, it's great for McTavish, and it's not a back-breaking deal. Aside from Trouba, who they brought in there, the biggest contracts they've given out are $7 million now for McTavish, Terry, and Granlund. So it's not like it blew up Anaheim's salary structure either. And I just think once they got to 7, McTavish was like, okay, I'm more this.
Yeah, the general feeling I got over that negotiation that the number started from McTavish at 8. So I'm with you. I think it's a pretty good deal for Anaheim. I'm actually kind of surprised that perhaps there wasn't a team out there that would offer sheet him.
Yeah.
Because I think at around 9, even if it was for 2 or 3 years, it would have cost a first, a second, or a third, which I like McTavish a lot. I would have given up a first, second, and third for him. Based on what we saw last season with Edmonton and St. Louis around Broberg, were you surprised that teams are still reluctant to go down that path?
Yes and